Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video, we're going to talk about EDC items. I've been kind of turning the corner a little bit, changing out some of my gear, trying some different things, and well, that's exactly what we have here today. Now here in my hands, a couple of products from the company MNGarista. They reached out to me to see if I'd be interested in taking a look at their EDC wallets, and when I looked at their website, noticed that they had a whole bunch of different items that were very useful. So here today, we're going to look at an EDC wallet. We're going to look at sort of a keychain solution. But with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now, before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at MNGarista who did provide these for review. And so, as I mentioned in the introduction, turning the corner a little bit on some EDC items. Now, I've been literally carrying the exact same leather wallet. This is from Popov Leather, who does a fantastic job. I have been carrying this wallet since the day I got this. It's been probably 3 years, and I have yet to change up my wallet. Now, this has been fantastic, but it does have some simple drawbacks. Holds plenty of cards, but does not deal with my cash very well. So today, I'm hoping that this here, this RFID ultra slim, RFID blocking wallet, is going to give me an option not just to carry all of my cards, but my cash as well. So I'll be interested to see how this goes. And then furthermore, when it comes to EDC, I definitely need to manage my keys. I have a ton of different keys for various reasons. I definitely need to manage these. You'll notice I even have little keychain, flashlight, some additional little gadgets on here. And I do really love to leverage one of these retractable lanyards. This does work out extremely well. This particular model by the company Keyback, who does a pretty nice job. But again, the people at MNGarista also with solutions. Very similar, but we're going to take a look at these in detail as well. And so as we get into this, again, the MNGarista, this is their ultra slim RFID blocking wallet. Now, there are a bunch of different styles that you can choose from. I picked this particular one because I did want something in carbon fiber. So this should be a carbon fiber wallet. As we get into this here, I have yet to even open this up, but we'll take a look together. Very simple, small packaging, which should be an indication of, again, the slim line wallet. This is going to be interesting because I've seen a bunch of products like these, but I've never personally owned one. And as you take a look here, really, really cool. I love the way this looks. Modern, just a modern look, modern take, and just really, really cool. So as we take a look at this here, again, this is what they're calling an RFID blocking wallet. You'll actually see comes with a little, and this, as I look real close, appears to be a hex key. So a small hex key, an elasticized band, and the slimline wallet itself. Now again, this is by the company MNGarista. I have not heard a lot about these guys, but when I saw their product, I was instantaneously drawn to it. This one here, a carbon fiber look, but they also have wood, they have titanium, and a nice variety of colors. This is just really, really cool. And so as we look at this in detail, you will notice that this has a clear ID panel on one side, and then on the other side, a cash strap. So that's your cash strap. And then the construction on the inside, you actually end up with a couple of RFID blocking plates and then an elasticized band. And this seems to be a replacement band in case you need it. Now, on top of all of this, as I mentioned, it does come with this little hex key, and that's to take this all apart. Now, I hate to take apart something that's perfectly functioning and comes from the factory in perfect condition, but I do want to show you this in detail. So I am actually going to take this all apart, which at this point should be fairly straightforward, all things considered. Nice little machine screws. They are tiny, so be very careful. And for me, this is where I like to have a little magnetized dish. So this should be pretty straightforward. I'm just going to take this apart and I will show you each one of these components in detail. And so now on the first side, there were 8 screws, all of which are the exact same size, so I'm not going to worry when this goes back together. But if you look at how this is assembled, here you can see very simple. So that first band, and this is going to be sort of your faceplate. So this is what varies from unit to unit. And as I look at how this went back on, kind of trying to pay attention to the orientation. If I want this to go back the exact same way, the logo here kind of up and down with this little cutout to the left-hand side. But these face plates are what change. And again, some of these are going to be carbon fiber. Some of them are going to be wood. Some of them titanium. It just depends on what you want. And as I mentioned, I really did want the carbon fiber look. And you can see everything here just nicely machined, all sort of chamfered and rounded out. Just beautifully done. I really like this. It is very nice. And as we get into the next section here, you can see that is that elastic band. And as I suggested, it does come with an extra. So I bet over time, this may fatigue just a little bit as you're taking all your items, putting them in, taking them out, all that sort of activity might impact it. Now, right away, what I'm seeing, and as we take a look at this, I'm going to show you this just in a little practical detail. I'm just going to use this business card for the example. Now, the wallet, you can see on this side is fully open, and then on the back side here has that elastic. So you're going to essentially insert your cards from this side, slip them down and inside, and actually this business card already is wider than the elastic. So I can tell you that my business cards are cut a little bit long. That's not on purpose. It's just how they came. And I even struggled to get my business cards in my wallet for this demonstration. So they are definitely wider than a standard credit card. So I'm literally just going to cut the end off of this just for this demonstration, just to make it a little easier to show you. But again, as you slide this in and your card goes down and into place, it does expose on that cutout. And the nice thing is that's going to give you the ability to push your cards out as you try to get your hands on them. You can do that. So that's going to work out very nice. I like that already about this. So having just that little cutout there is really cool and very convenient. But as we continue to take this apart here, you'll notice at this point, flipping it over, there are 4 more screws on the clear polycarbonate ID badge side. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is just pull these out and remove this piece. 4 simple screws, again, the same length as all the others. And as we take a look at how this goes in, again, I'm just going to kind of take note of how this goes together. So you end up with a cutout, and that cutout for me, as I'm orienting it this way, is to the top, while the side cutout is to the left. So that gives you an indication of what direction it goes. And now here, you end up with just a metal plate. So this metal plate is the back side of your ID badge holder. And then here, these metal plates, well, this is the RFID blocking plates. So here, you'll notice that these 2 RFID blocking plates are what are held together with the elastic band. And these here should spread apart enough to accept a number of cards. So as we look at this, it'll be interesting to see over time how many cards I can effectively fit in here sort of comfortably without them being difficult to get back out. And you will also notice that this is the piece of the construction that's threaded. So this has the thread holes for my screws. and everything basically threading into these pieces. So generally speaking, pretty straightforward. I mean, this elastic band at this point can certainly come off. And then as you look, these are your two RFID blocking plates. Now, as we look at these in just a little more detail right now, you can see nicely powder coated. Each one of these wallets is going to have a slightly different finish. In the black carbon fiber version, you'll notice these are also blacked out and they are powder coated, very even, nicely done. Everything rounded, chamfered nicely, and just soft to the touch. No hard edges, no square edges, nothing to snag. I like that. So from a quality perspective so far, I'm very happy with what I see. And now my ability to get this put back together, simply sandwiching these, getting the elastic back and into the appropriate location. That is another thing that's very easy as you look at the way this is all cut out. Very simple and intuitive, nicely done, and that keeps this elastic exactly where it needs to be. Once this is all sandwiched and bolted together, this is going nowhere. So I like the construction, I like the design elements. So far, seemingly very, very nice. Now, I was incorrect in one thing I said earlier, which is the screws are technically different lengths. So you do need to be a little bit careful. The screws that go on the polycarbonate side are longer than the ones that go on the carbon fiber side. So you do need to pay attention, otherwise the threads won't grab. But other than that, pretty straightforward in terms of reassembly. The threads on everything seem to be nicely machined. I don't have any fear of any sort of cross-threading or anything like that. And these do go down and into place with ease. Something else that I would like to point out as I'm taking a look at it, which is very nicely done, I like that they use countersunk screws. So again, you'll notice that these are fully countersunk, very flush, nothing to grab, nothing to snag. It's not like you have little button screws sticking out here. It's those little attention to details that I do appreciate. Now, as I work towards getting this fully reassembled, this particular strap here, you will notice, does go over the exterior sort of faceplate. Now, this one here being carbon fiber, I will be curious over the course of time how this holds up. If you had wood, if you had titanium, if you had aluminum, I could see it being maybe a little more durable. It's going to be hard to say. Carbon fiber can be tricky. Sometimes it's very strong. Sometimes it can crack. It just depends. This feels to be very sturdy in my initial just sort of impression. I don't feel like if I was racking on this, I would crack it if I just use moderate sort of pressure. But the fact of the matter is I'm going to be stretching this out and sliding bills in here continuously. So we'll see how this holds up over time. And as I continue to get this assembled, you will notice that the back side of this strap here, as I get it on the faceplate, does go into the groove of this band. So that works very well. If you're careful, you'll notice all of that indexing perfectly. And so now back to fully assembled, no problem at all. And so at this point, talking through the details, I do carry what I would call 8 cards and 2 IDs. So that is going to be a consideration here. Will I be able to fit my 8 cards and my 2 IDs? Now, I do wonder right away if my IDs will really more than one fit in this clear ID slot, and I doubt it. A business card is going to be certainly thinner than an ID itself. And as I go to slide it in here, let's see. So this is how it goes. So it slides in that top slot there. That's so you can push it back out. So that's cool. So looking at my business card here, that's actually very convenient. I like that. And I can certainly fit 2, almost 3 business cards. Fairly easy. So as you take a look there, that's the equivalent of 3 business cards. And although I'm not going to show it on camera, I was only able to fit a single ID card in this slot. So that is going to be a limitation depending on what you're trying to do, but I was able to easily and effectively fit my single ID card in there, so no problem getting that ID card right in the top slot. Now, something else worth considering, again, not going to show it on camera, but I do have my ID in this slot, and no matter how hard I shake this, it does not appear as though it will come out. Again, seemingly the only way that ID card will come out of here is to push on that little opening slot there and physically remove them. So from that standpoint, so far, very good. Which means if I needed to get 2 IDs in here and carry 8 cards in this section, well, now I have my 1 ID card here, and I've gone to 9 cards in this section, and you can see no problem, no worries. That actually fits perfectly. I don't have any problem with that whatsoever. It's actually working out very well. Now, my ability to install the cards here, pretty straightforward. Just sliding that open, and these do go down fairly easy. The only thing getting in the way is my all too large and too wide business card. So this actually does work extremely well. Went very easy, and that's not a problem. And again, as I mentioned, as I leverage this slot right down here, that does give me the ability to push these out, get my fingers on them with ease, and slide everything in out of the wallet. So from a functional standpoint so far, this is going to work out very well for me. And last but not least, with this wallet, well, now my ability to stash some cash. So just this little band here, that's very simple. That should do its job fairly well. Now, I don't anticipate having any problems with this. As I flip this around and huck it around and throw it around, no worries. That's going to be just fine. Keeps everything nice and contained. Very, very simple. So MNGarista doing a great job with the RFID blocking wallet. Now, the question is this truly RFID blocking? I'm going to have no real way to understand that, nor necessarily test it. However, what I can say is, all things considered, when you look at the package here, a little more slimlined, little more sort of square. As this was built out before, and you're not going to completely gauge, how thick this wallet was, but I'll go as far as to say this is going to be just about the same thickness overall, but it did gain me a little bit less in terms of the width and height, which works out well. And I now have the ability to actually carry some cash. And on top of it, a bonus, well, boom, I also have my ID holder, which this is going to be awesome for travel. The idea being, let's just say you get to the airport, you have your ID, you can either demonstrate it, or if they need it, you literally just slide it out, hand it to the attendant, no problem, and then slide it right back and into place. Throw it in your pocket and you're off. So this is really nice. I love this. Good practical EDC. Now, just real quick, taking a look at the carbon fiber version of this wallet in comparison to some knives. Now, if you're like me, you guys enjoy your pocket carry. And well, here you can see a few different offerings in carbon fiber. Absolutely beautiful blades. Loving these, just part of my collection. Everybody should have a little bit of carbon fiber in their collection. So as you take a look here, just different carbon fiber offerings from different brands, shapes, sizes, in some case combinations. But when you look at the carbon fiber overall on the MNGarista RFID blocking wallet, it is pretty darn nice. They've done a nice job. I love the pattern. It's pretty standard carbon fiber. So for example, as we take a look at this Best Tech Nixie, you'll notice just matching in beautifully. Perfect match. Just fantastic. A little bit different than other carbon fiber. Like say, for example, this is the Schrade Radok, which here you'll see is more of a fat carbon style. So just a little bit different. And pretty straightforward when you look at it in terms of, again, just all the other nice little offerings. You could look a little more gentleman style if you prefer. So here, you have this Barlow design from Concept Knives. Pretty cool. So that's just a little more gentleman style. Maybe a little more tactical, aggressive here. This one's really going to match very well. So again, just enjoying playing around with that carbon fiber. An awesome, awesome look. Now next, let's look at the keychain. These are going to be retractable keychains, which is cool. A couple of different styles here, I believe. At least I hope so. And the other thing that these can double as is basically a badge lanyard, which is also cool. So as we take a look at this here, I'm going to get these out. Two different styles of retractable lanyards. So the first one here, you'll see slim-lined, nice and low profile. Seems to be aluminum construction, nice and durable, well powder coated, looks beautiful in sort of this gunmetal gray. As we flip it over, this one here with a stainless steel clip. So this one being a clip design. And again, a dual purpose badge holder slash key ring. Now, one thing I see already that has me just a little bit bummed out is this is almost permanently affixed. I don't like that. This, to me, should be on the split ring and give you the ability to remove it if you don't want it. I guess for me, what I'm going to end up doing is just snapping that together and it will live its life kind of like this. But you do have the ability to leverage this for a badge or for keys. And then in terms of the retractable nature here, well, this here you can see is the full length, which is roughly about 30 inches. And my key back design was about 36. So you get a few less inches. This might go maybe closer to, yeah, I'm going to say almost exactly 30 inches. So 6 inches less, but that shouldn't impact a single thing. This is going to be more than enough to put my keys on here and then retract it out as I get to, my doors and all my different areas. You could certainly clip this to a pack. You could clip it to a shirt probably if you needed to, but for me, this would pretty much be a belt ride for most of my needs. Very similar yet different. So if you look at the sort of details in the construction, a little bit different, but this one here is more of a clip design. So more of your keychain, sort of carabiner style, and that's what I've been carrying with my key back design. So seemingly so far, nice design. This has a little bit of a hinge to it, which is cool. And then the same sort of construction here where you see this will double as a badge holder. Again, I'm going to just snap that back into place. And then your key ring. And this for me, again, this, I do wear a ton of tactical pants where these clips are perfect. And in terms of the lanyard, this one seems to stretch out just a little further, maybe out to about 33 inches. And so now as we get into how these will be functionally for me, this one here, literally perfect. As you look, I mentioned I wear a lot of tactical pants, and this fitting on there perfectly. These little loops working out great. I can get on my keys, pull them out to the door, unlock it, let it go, boom. And then when I don't need my keys dangling on the side of me, I simply tuck them into my pocket and everything is contained. I typically carry my keys on my left-hand side, which is my weak side. Take them, pull them out, reach forward, unlock, let go, boom. Works out extremely, extremely well. Now you'll notice on this side, I kind of have this temporarily tucked into my pocket. I'm taking a look here, and this clip is quite undersized for most typical belts. Now for me, you'll notice I am wearing a gun belt, which is going to be a little bit thicker, but at the same time, even if you had a standard leather belt, this would be in a little bit of a difficult spot. This clip here is shallow. I'd say maybe about an inch. And you're typically going to need at least 1.5 inches to make it fully around the webbing of a belt. So as you take a look here, and I will just try to demonstrate this to the best of my ability for you, you will notice that there is no way this is really going to fully go on there. It kind of does, but it doesn't clip all the way underneath. So I don't think that this would theoretically pull off, but it seems tight enough that you're not going to have too many problems. You'll notice this does have a little bit of a lip. So as I get it and push it on, should go on there pretty well. So I guess I'm talking myself into this. As I take this and kind of get it into place here, that should be just fine for me. Again, getting all my keys, pulling them out, unlocking the door, retracting them, that's going to be no problem. And I would actually do the very same thing, tuck the keys into my pocket so they stay out of the way. They're not jangling around, but when I need them, they're nice and available. And that would also work out extremely well for the badge. So if you're somebody that needs to constantly present IDs, maybe you have an ID that actually is your key card access, that would work out very well as well. And so all in all, very nice and very useful. Now, just a few final thoughts and subtleties, nothing significant. I mean, I definitely like these. I think these products seem to be sound. Only time will tell. Testing will really let me know how long these last. I beat these things up. They don't last more than a couple of years for me. After a while, things start to wear out. They start to kind of break down. Even, you know, all of them, the key back, it doesn't matter. The friction on sometimes the lanyard itself can cause a little bit of a problem. This here on the Garista seems to have a coating on it. So MNGarista, I wonder, it looks to have a real light, and you would never see this, but almost like a clear protection layer over the cable, which is nice. So this will probably last a good long time. And you'll also notice that this has a nice little grommet on the recessed hole there. So this should last a good long time. It seems to be very well made. I mean, generally speaking, I definitely like it. I like the gunmetal and the black hardware. So very nicely done. And just another funny little point, and just, you know, not really necessary, but thinking a little bit outside of the box, where the RFID blocking wallet does have the ID badge holder, you could theoretically almost use this lanyard with this in combination. Now for me, that would actually probably work out very well, where it actually physically hold my wallet in my pocket. No chance it could potentially fall off having it tied to the lanyard. And then when you need it, you literally just pull it out, pop your cards out, do your business, pop them back in, and slide that back in your pocket. So just an idea, and I might play with this to see if I can make that work. And so again, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at MNGarista who did provide these for review. Very, very nice. I am happy with these. I think this is going to be an awesome swap out to my EDC. I'm going to put this to some good use, enjoy it, and hopefully everything holds up. I like that they sent a couple of spare parts in case you need them, but overall, just beautiful. I love the look. I love the fit and finish. They did a fantastic job with all of these products. So again, to the people at MNGarista, nicely done. And for the rest of you, if you like this content, do me a favor, take a look at my Outer Limitless 2 channel, which is more on the tactical and firearm side of things. At this point, that channel is growing quickly. I have a ton of videos up there, so if you like what you see here on Outer Limitless, do me a favor and check me out on Outer Limitless 2. So all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.